host. Happy Thursday. The
Let's
old
go.
haircut reveal. What's going on?
That's right. Hair's already growing in. I found some grays in my hair. This is what AI is doing to us. I need to get on the Brian Johnson $1 million protocol.
100%.
And instead I'm drinking Kirkland signature protein shakes and taking sin a day. That's my protocol. We need the anti.
Brian.
And if that's not pessimistic enough, I wanted to pull up probably the most depressing thing I've seen. Okay, so I talked about this, I think last week, where I said the reason that people are so depressed and lonely is because by the time you turn 12, there's pressure to start a company or do something big. Like back in the day, if you were like 14 and started a Minecraft server and you made $20, like that was huge. Now, if you do that, that's expected. And now you can't even do Minecraft servers because TSM, esports company, even they're vibe coding. They're not only vibe coding things that are productive, they are ruining Minecraft. They built a vibe coder so you can generate whatever you want in Minecraft without having to build it. Okay, so people are going to say, oh, this is good. This is like vibe coding where you don't need to spend your time doing anything. But I don't know. What's the balance between efficiency and taking the time to do something with your hands? Because in Minecraft, the most fulfilling thing is finishing. And now you can just one shot anything you want. So I know you're an avid Minecraft player and you play almost all day. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, I have a Minecraft stream on Twitch that gets about it's a pretty big channel. It gets like 17 or 18 concurrent viewers usually. But
that's pretty good.
They're all big. They're all big donors. They like to throw cash at the stream. I think that they're all like stealing credit cards and stuff, but that's okay.
Yeah, so this was BS. And okay, I'm just going to show this very quickly because we have sponsors. Oh, wow. I'm getting censored. But I think most people have probably seen this. And JE was also a fan of Minecraft. In case you didn't know this, which is just an insane story. He actually did Minecraft Let's Plays, but I'm not touching that.
No, we and our sponsors have no comment on that. That's what's going on. Again, if you want to sponsor your competitor and you're Nike and you want to say Adidas loves that Minecraft is in the Epstein files, we'll say that. We have no issues with that. I think we've got like 20 stories of the day. Like we have 20 number one stories that are all tied for number one. Obviously, this being one of the most insane things I've ever seen, where I got to get my screen right here.
Dude, last Wednesday was huge. That's the new thing.
Last Wednesday.
No more saying yesterday.
The AI Impact Summit in Delhi, Sam and Dario refusing to hold hands and live negotiating with each other how they're going to put their hands up and kind of touch wrists without actually touching hands. So incredibly funny. One of the most awkward things I've ever seen. Look at that. The boys won't hold hands. Sad.
Okay, this is one of the times where I'm happy that I'm not a billionaire because you can get so in your head, oh, I wish I was rich. Why can't I be that smart? But then you see stuff like this and you go, there are trade-offs. Nobody is the best of every single world. And I'd rather be able to hold my homie's hand proudly without being awkward on stage than be a billionaire. And I stand by that.
We can still shake hands through the screen. Dennis, we've got you. And also, speaking of why you don't want to be a billionaire, related to the same conference, the second best clip of the day is Dario, who's a keynote speaker, who read his entire speech clumsily on his iPhone to a crowd of like the most important tech CEOs in the world. Check this out.
Energy and ambition in this room and across India are incredible. I've been spending the last few days meeting with Indian builders and enterprises, and the energy to build together here is palpable, unlike anywhere else. This is the 4th AI summit we've held since the tradition was initiated at Bletchley.
I mean, this is actually genius. I think what we're doing here is, if you are the CEO of Anthropic and you get invited to be a keynote speaker at a conference you probably don't really want to go to, but it looks really bad to say no, you just write your entire speech and then you kind of hold up your phone and you're like, I'm so happy to be here with all of you. You're not going to get invited back. It's great.
Right.
He's cracked the code of being polite, but he doesn't have to do this shit again in 2027.
People say don't read slides off. People said don't read off the slide. Yeah, look where that's going to get you. I also like when people go, it's so great to be here in the city of Wyoming. Oops, that's a state, but
exactly.
No, that's epic. That's like talking to a girl at a party. I would pay to see these billionaires. Like, we need a game show where we put these billionaires through like normal social events. Like, no more coding. We're like seeing if they can build a company. Let's see if they can, how fast they can work a self-checkout machine or ask someone bus directions.
Or just make it from point A to point B on a bus, period. Like, do they even carry credit
Is my
cards with
screen
them? I don't know.
Is my screen totally fucked? Oh, I'm not supposed to swear anymore.
I think the internet's like jittery on your end.
This is BS. I'm getting Starlink Mini. One thing about Dario that I want to mention is this right here. Did you see this?
Wait, it's not. Okay, there we go. There's like a 20-second delay in adding to the screen.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, so he is also based, though. Even though he's reading stuff on his phone, which is tactical, like you said, he just doesn't want to do this shit. And sure, maybe he doesn't want to hold hands with Sam A, but he also doesn't want to see anyone's BS. Ultimate ratio. Okay, when was the last time you mass unfollowed people? Did you ever do that?
I do it I think twice a year. Somebody that I follow bugs me and I go, I want to take a look at all these people that I'm following. This would actually be good because we could probably get some like future, some future sponsors in here. Like, I followed Robert Scoble because he gave us a like on Tuesday stream. I follow Numeral.com, which is the fastest, easiest way to stay compliant with sales tax. I follow Hire Overseas, which helps you build your overseas growth marketing and creative team to scale your company efficiently. I unfollowed Kevin and he dropped from the stream, and that's okay. I think I wonder if he's going to come back. What do we think? What's the over-under? The thing about having a live stream where you have tens to hundreds to thousands of people tuning in is someone is always going to have technical difficulties. Oh, he's back. We have to stop talking about him. We're back. Are we back? I can't hear you now. Are you muted?
Listen. Can you hear me now?
Oh, there, he's back.
That's right. So, sorry, I was trying to build, my accountant was texting me. Apparently I filed my, it's such a long story, but I've been selling stuff on the internet and my sales tax has just been consuming my whole life. And my accountant called me and shut down my whole computer. He's like, dude, I told you to use Numeral. Like, why are you trying to do the sales and value added tax yourself? It makes no sense. I was like, dude, sorry, I haven't been focusing on that. I've been trying to hire. He's like, dude, why haven't you been using hire overseas? I'm like, I've been spending all my time trying to write compelling content that's actually going to drive revenue. He's like, dude, why aren't you using the folks at Napa? And so I should be good now, even though my Wi-Fi seems to be blowing up.
It's okay. That's good. I think what it does teach you is that doing a solo live stream is like the hardest thing in the world. You think
I just did that to
good.
put the pressure on. I mean,
You think you're good,
listen,
and then if we just say, oh, give me 1 second, somebody's at the door, and then you just have to run this yourself.
how about that airplane code? That's what I would do. I always have some backup material ready.
Yeah, just
Okay.
just start playing videos. Let's go.
Okay.
Dude, have you ever seen Titanic and then like live stream a 3-hour movie?
Okay, let me get my bookmarks back up here. Listen, sorry guys. I'm going to have Starlink by the next time.
Starlink and Comcast as sponsors. Bring them back.
When I lived I know I had the fisherman's house. I don't know how that was so good. I think I had direct no one else used internet on the whole island, so I could have all the bandwidth. And here back in Seattle, the urban city, everyone's trying to live stream. There's like 6 people live streaming in my neighborhood right now on X.
By the way, this is Kevin's house that he's live streaming from. People will say that this is fake, but this is actually where he's calling in from. I had to bookmark this because it's like legitimately the most insane house. Like, it's not the most expensive. You can find houses that are these like BS houses in the Hollywood Hills or Bel Air or, out in London or in, New York that are like $110 million, $150 million. But this is like what you would build if you just had unlimited money. I mean, there's like an entire garage to charge go-karts. There is covered basketball court. There's like a go-kart track that just like rips through the backyard. And then the funniest thing is like 12 feet away, there's just like normal housing developments. This house is hilarious. Anyways, this is where Kevin lives. This is his house. He's actually calling in from this room right here.
The reason I'm selling this house is because go-kart track is... Listen, I feel like I'm negative way too much on this stream, and I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, and I don't want to rain on anybody's house. But go-kart track is like hot tub times 100, where you get it, and maybe 1% of people will use the hot tub like once a week, maybe daily. Go-kart track, it's going to be fun for how long? Okay, then you got to charge the thing. I think if I had a go-kart track, I'd use it maybe 5 times in the first month, and then I probably wouldn't touch it for the rest of the time that I live there. What are some amenities?
This is like the world's worst hot tub, where you have like fire on the side of the hot tub. Some woman with long hair, some dude with long hair is going to sit in that seat, and then the owner of the house will be like, "Oh, let me activate the firewall on the side of the hot tub." Hair's on fire. It's a disaster.
What would you put in your house? What type of amenities? I'd go basketball court for sure, with pickleball lines as well.
Indoor basketball court, or just like outdoor sport court?
Indoor for sure. Indoor. Because it's in Washington.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Like this. Oh. There's this video of the guy who built Drake's indoor basketball court. That's insane. And we don't have to play the whole thing, but I mean, this guy has like, I don't even know if that's the finished product, but he has like, this is just in his house. It looks like an NBA, like a mini. This looks like a really poorly funded state school's basketball arena. And it's just in his house.
Is there so much seating? Like, is he hosting games? Nobody's watching pickup. I've never had a single person watch a pickup game besides one guy's girlfriend. She was on her phone the whole time.
There was a line in one of his songs that I kind of believe after seeing the his indoor basketball court, which is that the Warriors sometimes come to his house to practice.
That's sick.
I mean, it's probably a win-win. Like, a lot of, everybody who's the best at something, they're not happy with just like Drake secretly wants to be on the Warriors. He wants to be like, put me in, coach. Probably a lot of the Warriors want to be like tech CEOs or famous rappers or live streamers.
The greatest quote that I've seen, and I forgot where I saw it. I don't think it was on X, but it was like, what's the dream of every pro athlete and billionaire? And it's to have a successful podcast. All roads lead to a podcast. And no matter what you have, it doesn't matter how rich you get, how much family you have, how much love you feel, you will always want a successful podcast. That's why I'm starting from ground zero, starting with the podcast, and then going to pro athlete.
It's so smart. It's so smart. And by the way, I mean, I think, look at this. I mean, this has to be one of, I don't know, but I can't imagine that like the All In podcast has more than 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. And we have very close to that.
That's right.
Right? It's pretty good.
I'd say go follow us on YouTube, guys. People keep texting me, dude, it's so hard to watch on X. It's so hard to watch on LinkedIn. We're global. Anywhere you want to watch us, listen, go on Spotify, go on YouTube. Listen there. You can go audio only. Listen while you work. I know most of you don't have jobs. And for those of you who do have jobs, it's mostly just sending emails all day. So listen to us while you do it. Trust me, it's going to pay off.
Raised and Confused, CNN for the unemployed. Raised and Confused, CNN for people with autism. Raised and Confused, CNN for people who are unemployed with autism. That's our core audience, Speaking of autism, it's an insane. Actually, speaking of what you were just saying, here we go. This is good. This is legitimately one of the coolest like concepts that I have seen. There is a new podcast coming out. I don't even know if you can call it a podcast. Like it's like a live stream podcast with Lil Dicky.
You're being filmed live on a podcast.
It's not live. It's not a podcast.
We rigged Dave's entire home. He can't even sell this place. It looks like a construction zone.
So it's just gonna open with you on the toilet?
It doesn't have to open that way.
Why are you sitting in a certain way to try to make yourself look better?
This is how I pee. I'm not trying to make myself look better.
You're ridiculous. Sit how you normally sit.
It hasn't started yet.
It has.
Why
No, it
are we
hasn't.
starting?
No, oh my God, guys, let's take a step back for a moment. We're not going to jump into a foundational part.
It doesn't look bad.
I just, and it was just like.
So they're getting like Paul Rudd, all these like celebrities over, but it's just kind of like the two of them hanging out in their house. So they're like blending live streaming, podcasting, reality TV. It's going to be a fascinating concept.
Isn't this just the new Ring camera? Like the ones to find your dogs?
Hell yeah.
Okay, this reminds me of, let's see if I can pull this up with my computer completely blowing up. What if I minimize tab? Okay, let's see if that does anything. Okay. This guy, I can't even share my screen. This guy, Sam Hyde, did something similar, except he just rigged this whole house with cameras and then would go invite homeless people to live in the house together, and he called it Fish Tank. And these people would like fight and like do horrible shit in there. And it reminds me of this tweet by Alex Karp, or this interview line, actually. Let's see here. So he says, in life, everyone tries to have a higher purpose, and you need to have something that motivates you in the long run. And Alex Karp also says, you need to have a lower purpose. Did you see this?
This is good.
So his lower purpose is the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine sprayed on analysts who tried to screw us. So I wanted to ask you, Chris, what is your lower purpose?
That's so insanely diabolical and specific. Like, how has this idea evolved? Like, he doesn't like analysts that tried to screw him. Or clearly there's like probably one analyst who's like really
Yeah.
on the stock who he's trying to go after. And then he's just sitting in a Palantir conference room being like, how can we get back at this guy? And it's like, oh, what if we like flew a drone over his house? Oh, what if we flew a drone and it was like dropping dog shit on his house? Oh, what if we, and they're just sitting there for like 45 minutes to get to light fentanyl laced urine spraying on analysts that tried to screw us. Unbelievable.
Right. Yeah.
Shout out H-Town. Shout out London Town. Shout out Kevin's here. Eduardo's here. Dennis here. The whole gang.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. This is I'm running a marathon right now with this Wi-Fi. This is Xfinity. This is what you get. Trust me, it's not going to be like this
Presented by
forever.
Numeral, presented by Higher Overseas, presented by Napa, not presented by Xfinity. All right, so we're talking higher purpose, lower purpose. I'm a big fan. Like, I think a lot of successful people have this. Like, when I worked for Elon, he so fundamentally hated Reid Hoffman and LinkedIn that a lot of the purpose of X was just like taking users away from LinkedIn and like replacing common features on LinkedIn and bringing them over to X. LinkedIn sucks at live streaming. X is going to be the best place for live streaming. There were basically like no live streams on X until, 2 years ago.
Right.
And so it's sort of like chipping away at core functionality. Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports, famously has champagne bottles for all the people that he hates in his life. And when one of them gets fired from their job, or their car gets repoed, or they get divorced, or something bad happens to one of his enemies, he pops champagne. So I think, I'm not sure what my lower purpose is. I try to be mostly positive, but I do think like when you're running a startup, it's helpful to have enemies. Like, you need a bigger purpose that you can like punch up at. And
Right.
you can kind of be supportive of all the companies that are like around your space and smaller than you. So it's funny that I guess when you
So you
get to
don't
the
hate
top,
anybody?
yeah. When you get to the top, oh yeah, this is good. Like left lane drivers are good.
Here's shout out to the boy Gavin Fernand. And first of all, we're gonna get the Guinness World Record buffer browser loading screen here. So Elon talking about chipping away at LinkedIn. Friend of the pod, Gavin Fernand, founder of Corporate Dudes, hilarious. He said, I hope Iran doesn't try to destroy our top secret nuclear facility pictured here in the top left corner. And it's LinkedIn HQ. And Elon reposted, and this is one of the best tweets of all time.
That's so good.
One of the best posts. What do you say? What are you supposed to say? You tell me, you work there.
Posts. It's post. It's repost. It's X. It's
Quote
SpaceX.
post.
What's that?
Quote post. Hey, can you quote post that?
Quote post me. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It is unfortunate. I mean, I was not a fan of the Twitter name per se, but the thing that it had was like tweet was just like in the lexicon. It's not going away.
Right.
And it's so specific. The thing that, I think our marketing team and all the like super fans of like Twitter and tweets would argue, which I think is totally spot on, is tweet was directly tied to Twitter, which basically no other platform has. Like,
right.
If you upload, if you're saying like, oh, I'm going to upload that could be to TikTok, it could be to YouTube. There's no direct correlation. Like, oh, I'm going to go watch a video versus like, oh, did you see the tweet? Facebook post, Instagram post, TikTok post. I actually think TikTok has a little bit of this where it's like, oh, did you see that TikTok? But Action of posting on all these platforms has become the same, which is a bummer.
Right.
Je ne sais quoi of extreme
And
Twitter.
now it's like, yeah, now if you're creating shit, it's like you're expected to just upload on every platform.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm just posting this everywhere. Okay, I want you to educate those of us who are less educated, okay? And I'm sure you know a little bit about this.
I have a 6th grade education. You can just say that, by the way. Like I actually went, I went to college and I graduated, but you could just tell people, I have a 6th grade education. And then people will say, wow, you never went to the 7th grade. And be like, no, I did, but I also graduated from the 6th grade. You can just pick an arbitrary class year that you did.
I have a PE education. Okay. Speaking of PE, Chris, I want you to tell us about private equity, how it works. Obviously, there's a lot of memes about it, how you find mom and pop businesses, pretty much fire everybody, gut the whole business, squeeze all the juice out of it before discarding it in a dumpster. And I thought, I don't know, this video is just hilarious.
Okay. By the way, somebody said, it wasn't on this post, obviously, but somebody said that if you extrapolate like the time that this guy ran like a 6 or 6.5 minute mile uphill.
I believe it. Okay. So you tell me in like you're talking to a 5-year-old how private equity works. Okay, in 60 seconds.
Goo goo gaga, crayons. Oh, 5-year-old. Yeah. How private equity works? Well, it's all very different by private. Like it's such a wide ranging term, but usually what this is in this meme case, like private equity guys, when they find out a boring HVAC company doing $3 million a year has zero AI integration, still runs on spreadsheets. Like you're like any business, you're trying to pass the buck along. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to say, okay, I'm going to buy this. I assume that this is like, earnings or whatever. Like this HVAC company is doing $3 million a year in profit. I'm going to go pay the owner of it 10x his profit to just buy the business. And so I pay 30 million. That's like the multiples are all over the place. Like you'll see 2x revenue, or there was just an HVAC company, actually my HVAC company, not one that I run, the one that we pay tens of thousands of dollars to every time stuff breaks. Literally yesterday just got acquired by like Blackstone for $2.5 billion. So this is very real. They got bought, I think, for like
$2.5 billion.
Yeah, $2.5 billion. Let's see.
How big is this company?
It's huge. Yeah. Check this out. I mean, so here, I'll pull this up. Blackstone announces agreement to acquire Champions Group. Blackstone, they have 1,800 like HVAC, and this is basically 150,000 households that they serve. So they serve a lot of households. Yeah, hundreds of locations. So anyways, like Blackstone in this case, they're using some mix of equity, debt. I mean, a lot of these deals now are being done with like super creative financing. So you have this world of like private credit, which is generally just companies lending other companies money to go do things versus like a bank lending you money. So private equity, famously, like in the bad terms, you would have PE funds that would buy this thing for $2.5 billion. They would basically use a huge amount of debt. Yeah, very, very little cash to do the deal. And so when things in private equity went bad, there's not really a lot of downside. It's like, I'm not even really using my money to buy this thing. I'm not super invested in it. All I have to do is cut costs so that if I paid 18 times earnings, I just have to make earnings go up. I can either try to like do a great job and go from, 150,000 households using them to 175,000. But it's way easier if you're just trying to like juice, if everything is a profit multiplier, the easiest way to make profit is like, let's go cut 300 of these field technicians And if I do that over 2 years, now I have a thing that instead of doing, $150 million in profit, that's going to sell for 18 times profit, does $25 million in profit and is going to sell maybe for a slightly smaller multiple. So the example is, for a 5-year-old, you have a really sick monster truck. And the monster truck is a magical monster truck. And it gives you $1 every day, which is pretty cool. And so I say, hey, how about instead of keeping that monster truck forever and getting $1 per day, I pay you 3 months worth of money right now. I'm going to give you $90 for that monster truck. And you're like, whoa, I don't want to have to wait for all these dollars. So I pay you $90. And then what I do is I beat the shit out of the monster truck with a hammer over the head until it produces $1.10 per day. And then I go sell that to a bigger kid, a 6-year-old who has a little bit more cash, who then is going to like follow that down the line, Yeah, what's going on with Red? I haven't been to a Red Robin in a long time. My wife, her first job when she was 15 was a Red Robin hostess. And so she refuses to go back.
I was just there. It is so good. I was there like 2 weeks ago. It's so slept on. People, it's unbelievable. I thought it was just like a local thing for a while. They're definitely dying out. It's rare to see them, but the fries there are so good. Speaking of food, specifically fast food, this is something that I get so fired up about. And I have a bone to pick with GoDaddy, by the way, and I'm going to roast them because they're not a startup. GoDaddy will send you 8,000 emails. If you want to buy a website, kevinbaker.com, you will receive 26 emails over the course of trying to just buy that, okay? And Little Caesars is the same. So if you order a pizza for pickup from Little Caesars, this person legitimately got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 emails for one pizza. So you get the receipt, then they say, we're on it. Okay, that's good. All you need is 3 emails. Receipt, we're on it, which is the same email, and it's ready. Okay, those are the only ones you need. They said, almost ready. That'll slide. Okay, they're trying to be proactive. Order loaded into pizza portal. Okay, that's too far. Pizza's ready. Acceptable. Are you on your way? Your pizza's been waiting in the pizza portal. Next, cold pizza. I hope you like cold pizza. This is actually hilarious. So I'm also
actually kind of funny.
I'm going to let that one slide. Then it tells you when your own order has been picked up. And then I don't know if this is some like company that Little Caesars partnered with, LC Listens, but oh wait, no, Little Caesars Listens. Little Caesars wants to hear from you. How was it? Are you there? So 11 total emails from a pizza. What would you do in this situation, Chris?
I mean, I would go pick up my cold pizza, and I would lightly lace it with fentanyl urine, and I would take a drone and I would fly it over to corporate HQ, and I would fly it into the marketing department and just drop it in the middle of the marketing department.
So how many employees do you think Little Caesars has?
Oh, they probably have so many. I mean, definitely tens of thousands. Definitely tens of thousands. I mean, that not obviously like corporate, but like they have thousands of locations still somehow. I'm not sure how that's possible. So it's you got to have like a few people per store. The thing about these brands, and I do want you to look it up, so I'm just going to guess and say they have like 20,000 people. The thing about these brands is they usually have way more than you think, because these stores require like so many part-time people to like actually make things happen. Do you have the employee count?
Between 15 and 36,000. They must
see. 20,000 was like an overshoot number for me, but it could be like double that. Some are citing 35,000 employees. Let me show you.
Damn. You're spot on.
Wow.
Okay, what you got?
All
More
right.
Little Caesars emails.
Yeah. This is Little Caesars lore. I have never once heard of this. This seems insane. Okay. I was curious, who owns this thing? Because I assumed like that feels like the work of private equity marketing department being crazy.
Totally.
This says private family owned, right? So we scroll down on Google. Little Caesars owner is Illich. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Mike Illich, Mr. I. He founded Little Caesars. It still is in the family. So it's still family owned. As I'm scrolling, as you're talking about, Little Caesars.
What?
Did the owner of Little Caesars pay Rosa Parks rent? Mike Illich secretly paid for civil rights icon Rosa Parks rent for over a decade, starting in 1994. After learning she was robbed and assaulted in her Detroit home at age 81, Mr. I covered her costs at a safer, upscale apartment complex. This act of charity continued until her death in 2005.
Wow.
That is lore. That is insane.
Bro, I'm getting a Little Caesars pizza tonight to support.
You're about to get 1,000 emails, but it's all worth it to give back to a family who supported an icon. That's crazy.
That's real shit.
Little Caesars, I remember it like peaking in 01, probably 2001 was peak Little Caesars when I was eating the most Little Caesars. And that just so reminds me of one of my new favorite accounts. Have you seen this? 2001 Live. This is insane. So there's all of these accounts. They're all run by the same team. This one I think is my favorite. There's a 25 years ago live, 50 years ago live, 100 years ago live, 250 years ago live. So these are all multiple posts a day. I mean, this one has 11,000 posts over the last 3 years. And it's like exactly what was happening today, 25 years ago. So like today, racing fans in Florida and around the world were mourning the sudden death of Dale Earnhardt at the Daytona 500 race. There were organized revolts breaking out in Brazil. An outbreak of foot and mouth disease is declared in the UK. So you can basically like just go through and they're like live posting in real time. Like I saw this one the other day on my timeline and you get like the actual news footage from 2001 in your feed. It's pretty sick.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
This is insane. I mean, just the amount of content and what you can do with this data. Like we saw it, I think, the most with the Epstein files, what people are doing with that, like Gmail, Jamazon, like these crazy ways that you can take this data and not only make it work for you, but also just entertainment purposes like that. And speaking of entertainment, I need to stop saying speaking of. I just use that. Did you have to do Socratic seminars in school ever?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. The downfall of the public school system. But we had these Socratic seminars where there would be some debate. Everyone would be talking about a topic. Everyone would be sitting in a circle, everyone in the class, and you'd be required to speak up like twice. And then if you spoke up more, you could get extra credit. And if you didn't speak up, then you wouldn't get any credit. And it was like the shy person introvert's nightmare. And would you have to speak up? But they'd be like, and then when you're responding to someone, you'd have to say, yes, I agree with that. Or no, I disagree because, and you'd have to have like an intro and an outro to everything you say. And it was the worst. I cannot believe they do that. But anyways.
I agree with everything you just said, Kevin. Wow, Kevin. Great point. It's like when people overuse your name and it becomes creepy.
Oh my God.
Wow, Chris. Great point, Chris. Hey, Chris, what?
It is so, dude, it's so cringe. When people go like, oh, Kevin, totally. Like, bro, we are not in a movie. I'm buying food from you. This is a QFC. Or what pisses me off the most is when people say right after every sentence, or does that make sense after every sentence? Yeah. So then you put it over here. Does that make sense? And then you put it over, like, does that make sense? And then if you do this right, and then then you shoot the basketball right, and then if it goes in the hoop right, that's like 3 points, right? If it's from behind the line.
Does that make sense? See, I like adding it to the end of other people's sentences.
Ask people if their own sentence makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Make them think for themselves.
This should be the new bit. You finish something and I go, does that make sense? And then I say something. Well, it's more acceptable to say right, because if you said, whoa, like, look at this A16Z, this thing is crazy. I go, right? That makes more sense than, does this make sense?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, I just did it. Yeah, I just did it. You could go back and forth between two people saying right and does that make sense? But you can also get through life by saying it depends to literally every single question. Like when you ask someone something and they say, well, it depends, then you would just give up. I stop listening, my ears close because it's not an answer. But the reason I pull this up is because I've already talked about one Minecraft thing where you can one shot any structure you want and not actually play the game. Are you all right? It's good. May I meet you is the best. But so this guy says his request for a startup is an AI companion that plays Minecraft with his son. So he's publicly asking for anyone to play with his son. His request for a startup is a friend for his child. And he's saying
the actually like frustrating thing is that I don't know. So there's context in which they interact. I don't know models, pro-social behaviors, and still cool and chill. A lot of room for teaching. Okay, so I was actually I didn't think about this from like an AI perspective, but I literally did think about it last night because my 4.5-year-old son was trying to play with my 3-year-old daughter. And that is like he's like in terms of like total hours lived, he is like a third older. But so like you would think like, okay, a 4.5-year-old and a 3-year-old would both know how to play the same board games. Not true at all. So I was like, I have to play all the games constantly with each kid individually because they're not at the right age. Like a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, like the 9-year-old can like dumb down their brain enough to like play Chutes and Ladders with a 7-year-old.
Right.
But it's like my 4.5-year-old like wants to play the game because he actually knows the rules. And then my daughter, 3-year-old daughter, comes in and is just like throwing Skittles around on the board game. And he's like, what are you doing? This is not how you play the game. He's like getting so mad. And it's like, actually, if I could go on Nextdoor right now and just summon a 4.5-year-old to come over to play this board game with my kids so that he stops being mad at his sister, that would be great use of AI, you know?
Right. That's a great point. And it's true that with even outside, like in real life, it's hard to find people to play games with you. In video games, if you want to play against a robot, previously it was like easy, medium, and expert. And the easy was way too easy. You could crush them. Let's say you're playing Mario Golf or something. You could crush them. Hard was they'd destroy you every time. Medium was usually all right. But now with AI, you could have someone who's exactly on your level. But I saw this and what are we doing, man? I mean, no hate, but
it's a brave new world. I mean, but here's the thing. Is this any different from like if I play Risk on my phone, there are two options. And this is kind of what you're just talking about. There's two options. Like one is like if you're connected to the internet, you can play like Risk against somebody, which by the way, the funniest thing of all time, because I used to play pre-kids, I had a lot of time to sit on my phone and play Risk and other dumb shit. And I remember I was in like sometimes I would play a random player at Risk on my phone, like through the Risk app.
yeah.
And, like conquering new worlds, and you're like, yes, I just got Australia, like sucker. And I'm playing like at the expert level or whatever. We were on this ferry in Sydney, Australia, 6 years ago. And this is like my peak Risk year was 2020. and we're sitting on this ferry, and there's literally like parents and then this kid who's like, he's probably like 12 sitting in front of us, and he's playing Risk. I've never seen somebody play it live, but like I wasn't playing on my phone, but he's playing at like the expert level. And I was like, dude, like what am I like when I like beat a random player, I'm literally beating like a 12-year-old in Australia and being like, yes, victory. I am like the greatest general of all time.
Did you say anything to him? That's insane.
I said, terrible strategy, nerd, and I flipped his phone up and walked off the ferry. No, I because I at the time was like 32, and I was like, I'm not going to go approach. I mean, I was with my wife, but I was like, I'm not going to go approach a small boy with his parents and be like, oh, hey, I play the same game. Can I get your gamer tag? And we'll start chatting over the internet. So
even when I see people play the New York Times crossword, it's insane seeing people do shit on their phone. One thing I think about.
Okay, we're gonna have to sue. We're gonna sue Xfinity. Let's take a look at Xfinity revenue. Let's see. Oh, he's sharing. I'm not gonna add. Okay. This is what we're dealing with. Early 2026 Xfinity add to the, I don't want to add. Hold on. What am I doing? Add to the scene. Hide. All right. Xfinity's total revenue, $124 billion. Quarterly revenue, oh, it's only up 1.2% year over year. This is why. Because it doesn't work. So what we're going to do, this is just what we're going to do here is we're just going to go mirror old footage of us on the Raised and Confused YouTube channel. We'll just watch old footage of ourselves while Kevin tries to rejoin the stream. This is some real Black Mirror stuff. He's going to come in. He's going to come in.
This is insane.
I did what I said I was going to do, and I just screen shared our YouTube, and I was just watching myself with a delay until you rejoined the stream.
It's so brutal. Like my Wi-Fi was so bad that I was sitting backstage, but it wasn't good enough to like add me to the scene. So I was just watching you talk, and I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone, being like, "I'm sorry" from the other side.
That's what. That's probably what like. Well, this is too dark. We have sponsors now. We can't get into it. I was going to say,
right.
This is probably like, there have been like books written about this where there are people that have like dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever at the end of their life. And everybody's kind of like treating them like a baby because they're like, oh, they're like so out of it. But like, what if your mind is like actually processing everything perfectly and you want to say like, no, like I'm still like I still understand you. I totally like can understand, but there's just this like minor disconnect between your brain and your mouth, and you just sort of end up like being like drooling on yourself. It'd be terrible.
God. Oh my God.
This dark message sponsored by Napa. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
What do we got?
Look at this. Okay. So I want to get your take on this. OpenAI is apparently finalizing $100 billion funding round that would value the company at $830 billion. So almost $1 trillion. Okay. And then we put this in context. Meta is at $1.6 trillion. They have 3.6 billion daily users and $200 billion in revenue. OpenAI has $12 billion of revenue and 800 million weekly users. Still burning cash. Make this make sense, Chris. Make this make sense.
Oh, so Meta is at 1.6 trillion with 3.6 billion. I mean, here's what it is. Here's what it is. I need to collect my thoughts. I mean, so there's a few things actually. The first thing is that it's definitely all about growth rate. So, I mean, Meta has way more revenue, but all of this stuff gets priced on growth rate. So I would get, I mean, you've seen like at the craziest, I think, the craziest outlier that we've seen is Anthropic, who basically is like doubling revenue every year. I think OpenAI might even be like surpassing them. So it's like, yes, you have 12 billion in ARR, but 2 months ago it was 10 billion, which that sort of is saying, okay, by the end of this year they're going to be at 25 billion of ARR. By the end of next year they're going to be at 50 billion. And so it's like how many years they're going to catch up to Meta at the current rate in 10 years is basically what the market is betting on. The second thing is you have most of the world's most exciting private companies like Numeral.com, HireOverseas.com, UseNapa.com, that are private companies that like you or I, even if we wanted to get into OpenAI, it would be very, very, very hard. You would do these like special purpose vehicles, you would get destroyed on fees. Like these are mostly really, really terrible ideas to try to invest in as like an individual retail investor. And so there's just this mania of like all of this cash sitting on the sideline round after round after round. And now it's being talked about like Anthropic's going to go public. SpaceX is going to go public. OpenAI is going to go public. All these companies that were sitting on the sidelines, just growing extremely fast. All that money is going to flood the public IPOs. And so I think this is also a bet that people like you and I just are going to blindly buy OpenAI stock at the IPO. So it's like the investors coming in now who are putting in 100 billion at 830 billion are saying, well, that's fine because Kevin and Chris are going to put their retirement funds into this at 1.5 trillion when they IPO. And like those guys aren't going to be able to discern that like, okay, this is the same IPO amount as Meta with, billions more in revenue and trillions more in revenue or whatever. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think largely this is a race to IPO to like get cash from retail investors before anybody else IPOs.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but that is the side by side is insane.
Don't you think that Zuck is kind of growing on you? Zuck, he used to be like #1 enemy lizard. Now he's got kind of a sweet place in my heart. I mean, come on, it's just Facebook. Like there's much bigger shit going on. He's kind of like turning into Unk. He's way more human now. He just wants to get on whatever board that he has in Hawaii with way too much sunscreen on his face.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that a lot he's gotten, flack from all angles, including from me over the years. But I don't think it's serious. Like I think sometimes if I am like dissing somebody who is on the Forbes 30 under 30, there's a real profound reason, which is like you're a scam artist. I think Zuck is just kind of this like, yeah, he's like a little bit unlikable, but I mean, like look at like Dario, look at Sam Altman. I think like anybody with that amount of autism who starts a company that becomes so wildly successful, I just think about like the fact that he is still the CEO of a company that's doing $1 trillion in revenue, or that is like $1 trillion market cap company, however you want to look at it, because I don't know how much of that is like ad revenue and whatever, but it's, regardless, tens of thousands of employees all over the world. And he started this thing as like a project in college. And the same guy that made the project in college successful is still running it today. Like that is just super inspirational.
Right. I saw an interview with him, a clip yesterday where who's the podcaster who only drank one Guinness and he was getting shit for it? Dwarmesh.
Dwarkesh, yeah.
So he reviewing Zuck and he was like, well, you got offered $1 billion, like, and you choose not to sell, like, what amount of money would have it been? Like 5 trillion? Like, and Zuck was just like, I was sitting there and I was thinking, and I thought about what would I do if I made this money, and what would I do? I would go build. I was going to do the exact same thing. So I realized I'm like, I'd rather just do this. Like, I like this company, and that's when I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
You know, real shit.
Yeah, and he is a new resident of Florida. I think he's allegedly he's officially given up his California residency for Florida.
Florida man.
Florida man. This is how when we'll clip this out and we'll send it to our incredible team at hireoverseas.com, at usenapa.com. But when we are talking about any of these guys, like Jeff Bezos, who's in like Miami now or whatever, and it's a few doors down from Bezos's thing, we need to always talk about them as Florida man Jeff Bezos, Florida man Mark Zuckerberg.
Have you heard of Pump.fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever like traded on it or anything?
No.
Okay. Me neither. But I just see it everywhere. And so I'm like, how much revenue are you guys doing? Apparently, they've generated over $1 billion in cumulative revenue as of early 2026. So that's since its inception, with annualized revenue exceeding 500 million. And I just cannot believe this, because you go here, first of all, the logo's a pill, and then let's click into it, and Xfinity isn't going to load it. But
last time you tried to screen share, Xfinity silenced you.
Nice. Yeah, that's what they like to do. So maybe would you mind pulling this up so I don't die?
Is this just the Pump.fun site?
Yep, Pump.fun.
Oh God. Okay, hold on.
It's gonna crash your computer too.
Oh look, the IRS is calling me because I'm on Pump.fun. Hold on. Hey, yeah, no, I can speak now. Yeah. Oh, about the Pump.fun visit? Yeah, no, I can. It's a live stream thing. Yeah, if you actually follow us at raised and confused on YouTube, you can check it out. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you this afternoon. Thanks. Sorry about that.
All good. I like how rug pulling used to, like, pumping and dumping used to be like a derogatory term, like something you don't want to do. And now it's like for fun. And the whole point is that you rug pull people. Like that's this site is that you can rug pull people.
I guess I didn't realize like what it is, but that totally makes sense to me.
Lone wolf.
And this thing just switches every like. This is like the was it a Kalshi thing that we were looking at, or Polymark, like that was like the stock price is going up and you have to like predict like where it's like futures trading or options trading, but it like done in a graph. I mean, it's basically this. Didn't these guys get in a lot of trouble because they have live streams that allowed people to like promote their coins, but one of the guys, like, to promote the coin, like locked himself in a cage and said that he wasn't going to like come out until it was like a $50 million market cap. But then like it was kind of funny, but then he actually like stayed in there for like 3 days, and then people got like seriously worried, and so then they had to like cancel his live stream.
Oh my God. Okay, can you search on here? Search any word you want and see how many coins pop up.
Let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to search like I mean, I think like Grok is a good one because a lot of these are like X users, right? Yeah, look at this. Grok 5, Grok Coin, Grokopedia, Grok Build. And some of these have $3 million market cap. Yeah.
That is unreal. Oh my God. And was it all in one day? What is this?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out. So dude, okay. The fact that there is like a minute by minute. Hold on. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm looking at. We'll do a different one. I mean, obviously, if you have we're gonna look at Biden coin. R.I.P. Biden. Biden's auto pen. Trump cleaning Biden's. I mean, none of these have enough volume. Let's go to. Okay, this Born Alone punch coin has $25 million. Trade display 6 hours. We were down and now we're up. This is up $17 million in market cap in the last 24 hours.
That is unreal. And that the top holder, does he own 3.5% of the total supply?
But also this could be, I mean, I think some of the problem is with all these Anon wallets, like this could actually all be the same person, you know, or maybe outside of this guy who thinks he is trading against all these random people. And it's some bot farm that has, 99 accounts that each own 1% of the coin.
Right.
I mean, that's how I'm going to buy that $20 million house in Arizona. Just saying.
You listen to music, right?
I've never heard. What is that?
Dude, music is this up and coming format. It's kind of like TikTok, but it's a little longer and there's no video. And there's this.
Wait, so it's like, so there's like music videos without the video.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Try to think of it as like, there's the 5 senses: touch, hear, see, taste. See, there's no music for taste, but here's the thing. You're either a Spotify person or an Apple Music person. Spotify has officially pulled way ahead of Apple Music as of today because I opened my app. I was going for a little jog this morning. I wanted to, bump some tunes, and I got a notification that said, add your friends to a group chat. And I am so bullish on the social functions and features within music because music is just a naturally social thing. Spotify officially added group chats to their app, allowing users to create groups of up to 10 people directly within the app, discuss, listen to music, podcasts, and audiobooks together. So before, I would make group chats on iMessage and say, hey, do you guys want to jam? I'd have to copy the link from Spotify, send it in, let's jam. We'd talk about, oh, dude, the song is so good. Now you can do it all within the Spotify app, which is amazing. And now when I pull up a song, sometimes it'll say, hey, your friend Declan sent you this song like 6 weeks ago. And I go, you know what? I do remember that. And this is really going to help me because I put my friends onto so much music. And sometimes they have whatever the mental thing is where they think that they found it, later on, like they'll be playing a song, a deep cut that I put them on and they go, dude, I remember when I found this. I'm like, bro, I sent this to you. And now you have the receipts to track it back. Spotify group chats, what's the first thing that you're going to send to your friends?
Dude, this is actually, I think this is interesting. I'll say the bear case and then the sort of bull case for this. I think the bearish case was like, we just have messages in so many different places. Dude, I will show you a real thing that happened to me. A friend of mine said, this is on yesterday. He said, I got to scroll up. I'm not going to show the text, but he said, confirm proof of life to me on text. And I know what that means, given our relationship. It means that he has sent me 3 Instagram DMs of funny videos over the last day that I have not responded to yet. So it's like, well, you've got to check like your Instagram. I mean, I don't have TikTok. I don't know if you do. You've got to check your Slack messages. You've got to check your email. You've got just DMs all over the place. You've got group chats. You've got X chats, like X group chats are like hard to keep up with. So now you've got like another thing. That's the sort of bear case. The bull case here is that I definitely think that there is a lot of the world where you're just talking about and sharing different types of content with your friends. So like Instagram, this is built in, X, this is built in.
Right.
But it would be interesting. I don't know if this is possible on X or like if Spotify is going to have this, but like if I save certain songs of a certain genre, like in a certain way, like if I favorite a song in a certain way, it like sends it to the group chat or something like that, where it's like, oh, I know that these people are going to like this. But what you were saying earlier, the same friend actually that just texted me proof of life, or, you know, are you still alive? Because I didn't respond to him for 4 minutes on Instagram. He put me on to a couple of my like favorite artists. Like he mentioned some of these artists in 2020, 2021. I would listen to like one song by like Tyler Childers or whatever and be like, it's not really my thing. And then like 2 years later, I'd like rediscover what I thought was like a better song. And then the next time I see this guy, I'd be like, oh, dude, like this, you got to check out this artist. He's so good. I'd be like, dude, I texted you about that in 2020. And I'd be like, oh, well, you sent me like a shitty song by this guy. I didn't pay attention because you sent like a too popular of a track. Wasn't really my thing. But yes, there should actually be the Pump.fun plus Spotify group chats. Is I should be able to send you an artist and then bet through Kalshi on if that artist, like how many minutes of streaming time you're going to stream that artist over the next year.
Right.
Like I know Kevin's going to love this up and coming folk singer. You would otherwise be doing 0 minutes of time. But if you end up streaming for like 100 minutes of their songs, then I get some money from Spotify, or I get to like win a bet through Kalshi or something like that.
I totally agree. I mean, I think that if I put you on to a sandwich shop and it's local, you've never been there, I say, dude, Bay Subs Deli, which shout out Bay Subs Deli, Pacific Heights, everyone go there. If you end up going there every day for lunch for the next year, I don't know who needs to pay me, whether I should get a percentage of the transaction from you. I'm brokering the deal, though. I deserve to get some of the upside. Same thing with music. And so this is, I don't know if you got it this morning, but I sent you this one.
Bay Subs Deli, shout out.
I can't wait to get copyright striked. Oh my God, dude, this place. Oh my. It's insane. I sent you this earlier. That I will be sending all my friends. If you drop a message in the chat, I'll get you on Spotify and send you this song too, because you're going to want to listen to it. This is what we'll be listening to.
We are definitely going to get copyright strike for that.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get
worth it.
We're going to have to pay him all of our earnings on YouTube.
None of our videos are monetizable. You know what we could do, actually, because I think we are going to get copyright strike there. We could go on hireoverseas.com and we could get like a producer or another clipper. Since we already have one producer, we could just hire somebody else to only edit the non-monetizable music out of our streams at the end of the process and then re-upload them on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then, you know, if we're worried about like all the ways that we're making money, because like we're clipping and we're selling merch and we're selling, you know, Raised and Confused hats. I think we've sold 2 hats over the last 6 years. We have to pay sales tax and all that. And sales tax is a nightmare. With Numeral.com, it's not a nightmare. And, you know, one of the ways that we are going to grow our following over time is by posting on X. And there's an incredible team over at usenapa.com that can help you grow your LinkedIn, help you grow your X. They write amazing content. You can turn your words into new leads, more customers, more meetings, more investors, whatever you're looking for. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Shout out to Little Caesars Pizza. Shout out not to Xfinity. that's our midstream ad reel break.
Someone please, any Wi-Fi company, we will, as Chris said, the first anti-sponsor. Okay, we're going to add another layer on right here, and it's going to be anti-sponsors where we just talk shit about whatever company you want us to. Okay.
One of the themes that I have noticed in the world, speaking of anti-sponsors, back in the day, all VCs used to be like hyper competitive with each other. Not even that long ago. I think some of them still are. Founders Fund hilariously shits on like almost every other VC, which I think helps them win deals. But you have people like Jack Altman, personal friend, who is Sam Altman's brother. For those live streamers who aren't keeping up with the family dynamics, it's okay, Molly at Sorcery, we understand. And that was a hilarious clip, by the way. So Jack Altman, younger brother of Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, he ran this thing called AltCap that had raised like $275 million under management. And he just joined Benchmark, which is one of the most prestigious VC firms. And there is this thing that is happening that I've been tracking, both I think in the tech world and definitely the investing world, which is, Andreessen Horowitz, friend of the show, just raised $15 billion fund. Thrive, friend of the show, just raised like a $10 billion fund. I think Benchmark has like a multi-billion-dollar fund or high 9-figure fund that's now being merged. A lot of these people, like these solo GPs, these solo general partners that went off and forged their own road ahead. A lot of these, like, I just think a lot of people that otherwise, like in 2020, 2021, would have raised their own fund, would have started their own company, would have started their own live stream. Like the world, we are in a consolidation phase. Like everybody is like rejoining the big players. And it's to the extent where I'm like, wow, like 6 of the 10 smartest people that I've ever worked with were on the job market in the last year, all joined like really big companies. And it's kind of interesting where it's like there is no shortage of funding for these people. Like anybody, they could go to any VC and raise like unlimited money. But for whatever reason, and I think that there's a lot of reasons there, they are like combining forces and just trying to create these like mega funds. They are combining forces and just saying like, I would rather be the 8,000th AI engineer at Meta than like try to start my own AI company. It's interesting to watch. Not us. We raise and confuse 2 employees. Now
listen,
and forever.
being self-employed, working for a small company, a couple reasons I love it is one, it's you get to learn a lot about insurance, and you get to learn a lot by paying you don't get to go through the pain of insurance if you work for a big company because they just buy it for you. They say, hey, we'll pay for you. Another thing, taxes much harder. You don't get to learn about taxes.
Right.
And you get zero upside because you're probably going to make less money if you weren't an engineer at Meta. But I want to ask you, let's say that you decide that tech and invest kind of have run their course, and you realize you don't want to get a laundromat, you don't want to buy an HVAC company, and you decide that you want to open a coffee shop because you want to support the community, you're a coffee connoisseur. How would you open a coffee shop? What rules would you have in place in this day and age where so many remote workers will show up and buy one $4 cup of coffee and then take up a place, use your power, bathrooms for 9 hours? Would you let them? How would you structure it?
We're really getting down to the right questions here. Because I haven't thought about it, but I do think about what you want in a high quality coffee experience. Because here's the thing. Okay. I think that the way a lot of people solve this with coffee shops is they say it's either the extremes. Like we want the most, we want like couches so people can like vibe out all day, and just like there's probably some asshole in the back who's like doing a Zoom call and he's like trying to be quiet, but he's actually not. I've been that guy before, by the way. I was like traveling on the road. I was trying to talk to some customer and I was like screaming in like a Pete's Coffee, and these two old ladies kept being like, shut the fuck up. And I felt really bad, but I was like, I have to do this call. It's like raining outside. I can't do it from my car. And it was unfortunate. I think that was in I was traveling up in like Mill Valley. So shout out to the Mill Valley Pete's Coffee, because I was screaming in there a couple of years ago. No, I think what you want, like, so let me show you. This is like the best coffee vibe place ever, I think. It is my like hometown coffee shop. We'll go through some pros. This is what you want in a coffee shop. Lever Coffee, Alamo. Okay. Few things. This is, I don't know if is this the inside? I think this is the inside. Yeah, this is the inside. So what you have here is you have a couple different like workstations where if you're a group of 4 sitting down for coffee, if you're just one dude in the coffee cup chair, you can sit back here, and there's like outlets everywhere. So it's like you can hang out and vibe, and anytime in the morning or afternoon, if you go into Lever Coffee, all these seats are full. Okay. And it's good because it creates this ambiance where like they're very strict on like you can't do calls. It's got to be like, but it's good to have some like friendly faces that you can go into this coffee shop. There's 12 or 15 seats. Every one of those 12 or 15 seats is always full. But then they have this like service counter, which is on the other side that they didn't photograph. That's like the grab and go. And they're just like churning out people that are like walking up, grabbing their coffee, moving on. And then the outside is where, you know, the coffee shop is really made, because they have this, I'm trying to find it. They have this little outside area that's like a front porch here. It doesn't have outlets. And that's more of the like, if you're coming in to grab a coffee, the inside chairs are all going to be filled up with like remote workers or people like shopping on Etsy or whatever. But then the outside, if it's nice out, which usually the weather's pretty good, I think they have heat lamps out there. There's this big, like kind of semi wraparound porch, and you can just grab a seat out there. And I think that that's the vibe of like, you want to be able to serve 3 people. One is the people that are like going to show up and camp and just spend $4 for the day, and that's fine. You want like the front porch crowd that's like a little bit more like coming and going. And then you have the people that are like all business. They pull up in the parking lot, they pull up on their bike, they just slam an espresso, and then they're like done. Longest answer in the world. Shout out Lever Coffee, friend of the pod.
So I agree with almost everything what you said, because no matter what, you'll be serving those 3 audiences. So you are personally okay if someone comes into your coffee shop and works there all day and just spends $4. That's okay with you?
I think so. I think it's just it's an inevitability that that's going to happen.
And what happens?
I don't like it on balance, but I'm not sure how.
What happens if someone comes in and doesn't buy a coffee and sets up their laptop?
You gotta fly a drone over their head. Just hover it. Those things are loud as hell. And it's kind of like shaking, but it's not touching them. There's no assault, you know? I don't know.
No. You know what I would do is I'm going to let the remote workers come. I'm going to have the pickup counter. You can get your espresso. I'm going to have the porch with the heat lamps. The number one thing that I want in my coffee shop is people coming in and talking to each other. I'm okay with some remote workers, but here's the way that you beat it. And it's with social pressure, because right now there's really no pressure in coffee shops. You can spend $2 and set up all day. No one's really going to say anything to you. The way you do social pressure is I'm going to have a leaderboard AI that has everyone's face on a screen, and it says how long they've been there, how much money they've spent, and how that equates to money spent per hour. Right next to it, I'm going to have the fixed expenses of my coffee shop. This is how much we're spending on power right now, how much time it costs. You could even do like sunk cost of people sitting in chairs. So if you're at the bottom, imagine it's Chris's face and it says, this guy has spent $4. He's been here for 10 hours. And you're just at the bottom. No one wants to be at the bottom in anything in life. So it's going to incentivize you to go spend more money or leave, which I think is the best worlds. Do you think that would work?
I think it would. I think that's genius. It's very like Sims-esque of like you have your health metrics or something above your little Sims. It's good. You know? Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
The reason I ask is because I saw this, which I actually don't think is real, but it's an interesting idea. This guy says this coffee shop uses AI to monitor customers and employees. You can AI producing efficiency ideas and possible design changes as a result of a large amount of this data, which is true. He says Walmart already does this in their stores. I suspect this tech will be broadly available to small businesses soon. So it shows how long people have been here. It also shows each employee and how many cups they've made. Pretty much like Ring doorbell again. How do you feel about this as a patron? Would you want to know about this? Are you okay with them tracking?
It's your business. I feel like, everybody already has the security cameras. We've just become used to it. You used to be able to go into a coffee shop and sit in the corner and take your pants off, and you just can't do that anymore. And so, they already have all the indoor cameras because they get robbed, and society's going to zero or something. And so if they want to add like a metric on like how much I've spent or how fast the workers are working, I think that's all fair. Like the worker side here is almost more interesting. I mean, if one of these people though is doing 20 cups and the one's making 3, what if those are like the 3 most expensive or highest margin, cups in the store? We don't know.
Right.
Karen says she's out. She's not. I can understand that.
Well,
but I think, here's the thing is like, they're going to do that and you're not going to know that they're doing it. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you like, oh, we're tracking how long you've been here. It's just going to be a camera up in the corner and you're going to have no idea.
Well, you will know at my store because I'm going to display it on a flat screen TV for social pressure. You know what? Maybe you don't know that you're being tracked, but there's one thing that you can never lose track of. Can you guess what it is?
Your sales taxes with Numeral.com.
Exactly. If you lose track of sales tax or value added tax, you're screwed. There's a lot of things in life that you can be careless about and loose and, oh, I forgot to do that. Oh, I think I did that wrong. If you do that with tax, you're literally going to jail. Okay? That's why you use Numeral. They keep track of it for you. Let them take care of all your sales tax. It's the easiest, fastest way to stay compliant with U.S. sales and value added. It's the AI native solution. They work with over 2,000. That's 2 and 3 zeros of the fastest growing, slowest growing, medium growing, trillion, $1 losing money. Whatever business you are, I don't care what you're selling. They don't either. Let Numeral worry. The Numeral guarantee, they'll take care of any fines. They'll make sure it's filed on time. So just forget about it, okay? I'm tired of people coming to me with complaining about sales tax when you don't have to. It's not something that you have to think about. Can I get an amen?
Amen. I was just switching.
Okay, so Chris, you ran a coffee shop for a while, which is why I wanted to ask you the question. And I know that you had a really tough time hiring people to work there. Everyone's kept leaving because they said whoever owned the shop was pulling his pants down in the corner. Right. And I know it was hard to find employees. And you ended up finding really great people through Hire Overseas. Can I ask you about that experience? Is that something that you're willing to share?
I usually don't share it. I think just because you asked about it. What ended up happening is I ran a highly unsuccessful coffee shop, as Kevin mentioned. Everybody was leaving. People kept making everything decaf when it was supposed to be caffeinated. And so I said, I'm done with this. I need to find exceptional talent for less than their U.S. counterparts who work around the clock to make my business the best business that it can be. And unfortunately, that meant we had to go into the digital coffee business because we weren't able to serve people in California anymore because we had a team that was built across Australia, Asia, Africa, Europe, LATAM. And so that's fine. We ended up being a very successful business. It was all thanks to hireoverseas.com, where I was able to hire 117 digital baristas to serve coffee NFTs to patrons during 2021 when everybody was locked in their house. We sold some to Jake Paul. We rug pulled Logan Paul. We sold digital coffee cups to the Kardashians. Very, very successful business.
That's genius. Because I remember when I entered the digital coffee era, it was a couple years before you. I thought I had an advantage, and there was really no reason that I should have failed because clearly it was something that people wanted. People like coffee, people like NFTs, rug pulling. The biggest mistake that I made, and I'm saying this from a vulnerable place because I don't want people to make the same mistake, is that I used this company. At the time, I thought they were good, Athena, and they were claiming all the things that Hire Overseas did, and it sounded way too good to be true. It turns out it was. When push came to shove, I talked to my digital baristas. I said, wait, hold on. I'm paying Athena like $5,000. How much are you making? They said, bro, I'm only making $2,800. I'm like, does that mean I'm paying $2,200 in margin for each employee? And I figured out that I was. And luckily, someone told me about Hire Overseas. The business still ended up failing because I didn't keep track of my sales tax, but it was good to know. Now, I see a new one here that many people probably won't recognize.
Yeah, I mean, this is I guess it's some company, and it's helping founders and executives turn their words into new leads, more customers, investor meetings, new hires, and press mentions. And I think what they're saying here is you out there reading this, you probably want to build an audience. You probably want to scale your business. Nobody cares about what your brand is posting on LinkedIn. They want to hear from you, the people that are actually in the weeds day to day running these companies, your voice, your thoughts, your expertise, not in corporate drone speak, in funny ways, with hot takes, with thought leadership, with relevant news for your ICP. And let's learn about the people who are behind this company. So it says that this guy seems like kind of a loser. Oh, this guy seems cool though. This guy was an AI engineer before it was cool, turned writer of the most viral B2B content the world has ever seen. Seems interesting. Yeah.
Didn't that Chris guy, he was on Forbes 30 under 30. I'm pretty sure he's in prison.
Let's take I think he had, oh, wow. Yeah, I think he, well, he didn't graduate from college. So oh, wow. This is not great. This is not great.
Oh, for sure. Forbes 30 under 30.
Wow.
Hey, you should really consider
the edit pencils. I'm trying to like profile. And it's like, do you want to let's add more education live. It's good.
Have you considered the Berkeley COO program? I see them advertising to you. I think you should definitely go back to school.
Let's charge them 50 cents to click on this ad. Let's see what this is. Chief Operating Officer Program. Drive organizational growth as a visionary COO. Wow.
This is worse than a vibe-coded website. Colleges are cooked.
20 grand.
Colleges are 100% cooked.
20 grand to go online to get a COO certificate in 7 months.
Listen, I want to say something about Napa because I truly believe it from my heart.
Hey,
if you're a founder running a...
Hey, what's your phone number?
What? If you're a founder or you're running a business or if you're a creator, no matter who you are, the truth is sometimes I'd say 99% of people don't have the social writing bug. Some people, it comes really naturally. And a lot of it is confidence. And, you might have an idea and think, is this worth posting? And sometimes you need someone by your side just to bounce ideas off of, give you that confidence, say, yes, you should post that. The Napa team is right behind you every step of the way. They're going to keep you accountable to post. They're going to post stuff that you maintain all the approvals, and they'll work with you however you want. If you want to send voice memos, if you want to send them interviews that you've done before, you know, podcasts that you're currently doing, they'll scrape that. Will squeeze every juice out of every orange to make the best content, and they'll tell you what's actually going to convert.
That's right.
Use Napa. Use Napa at usenapa.com.
Use Napa, usenapa.com. Exactly.
I think
that right?
Napa's gonna acquire Raised and it's gonna be bigger than the SpaceX deal.
100%. Let's see what else. Oh, this is good. We were just talking about coffee shops. Do you know who this guy Mark Randolph is? He's the founder of Netflix. I like that I just answered before you could respond.
Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? Mark Randolph, co-founder of Netflix. I see him in my timeline a lot. I obviously don't follow him, but he is like the king of like low TAM posts where he has like a lot of followers because he's the Netflix guy, but he doesn't post like that often. But his posts are kind of interesting. This might be the coolest idea for a bookstore I've stumbled on. They call it Blind Date with a Book. This gets like 20,000 impressions. Like our live stream has more impressions than like this guy's posts right now, which is insane. But I like the idea where it's like you go into a bookstore, instead of judging books by their cover, literally and figuratively, you just have somebody who's like kind of giving you the highest level Sparks notes on each book. They're sort of saying like, all right, this is a crime book. It takes place here. I mean, it would kind of suck to like buy a book that you already have if you don't really think about the description, but it's interesting.
When was the last time you bought something that you were like 50% or more confident that you weren't going to use and that it would probably be a waste of money?
My problem, I think the answer was like last week, and I'll show you. What happens is I'll read a Wikipedia article about somebody. This is true. These are just sitting on my floor. There's this guy, Irving Thalberg. I'll show you here. Irving Thalberg. Okay. It's actually insane. This guy was a whiz of his day and of his generation. And because we're talking about the worst thing, I have to look him up because this will be good clip. All right. So this guy died at age 37. Check this out. He was called the boy wonder of early American film. And I don't know if it shows here. He was like the head of production at MGM at the age of 26, helped turn MGM into the most successful studio in Hollywood. During his 12 years with MGM until his early death at 37, he produced 400 films. He was like the original like YouTuber. He would just like throw content at the wall and at studios. And he helped like basically create like a lot of these, very famous actors and actresses back in the day. And he would just like reuse, like there's stories of some of these actors and actresses who literally for like the 12 years that he was running MGM, they would basically like live on the studio lots and like they would film a movie over like 2 days. And then like the third day they would like move on to the next movie. And they just did this for like years, like cranking out content. He's like the original Mr. Beast. Anyway, in terms of the most useful shit.
That's insane. Original Mr. Beast is crazy.
I bought like 7 books about this guy's life. And then it turns out I'm like, no, I kind of get what I need from the Wikipedia page. I don't actually need to read like 7 500-page books about this guy's life. But this is always the most useless shit that I get. I get really into a random dude or a random person on Wikipedia or Grokpedia sponsor. And then I just buy like 70 books and like all these books. And like I've read like half these books and then they just basically, I spend like $90 on Amazon and then they just sit on my floor in my office.
Right.
It's a problem.
Well, at least you can use them for a Zoom background. It's funny because I made one of these purchases last night at my lowest hour.
What'd you get?
When I was in a dark day. It has to do with books. It's similar to books, but it has a digital aspect to it. I'm gonna let you guess.
Similar to books, but a digital. Did you get a? Did you buy a Kindle?
Exactly. I got a Kindle Paperwhite
Wow.
for $150. First of all, why the fuck is it that much? I thought Kindles were supposed to be cheap because it's just words on a page. And the whole time that I was going through the add to cart and picking picking my card from my family's account, picking my address, I was thinking, there is no way in hell that I'm gonna actually use this thing. I mean, there's just no way, and I still bought it anyway because I don't know why. I think these things where I'm convincing myself that because I'm buying this, I'm now going to start reading all the time instead of doom scrolling.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's
that. You know what you can't read on your Paperwhite, and by the way, it's $160. Not to make you feel worse, but I just looked it up. This is cool. So the restream says 7. I think this says we have our highest ever concurrent video watchers. We just had like 6 or 7. So we have like a few people that are checking us out on YouTube, which is good outside of just the X feed.
Nice.
Go check out YouTube if you're watching on X.
Nice.
Yeah. So wait, have you had a Kindle before? Or is this your first one?
Like a long time. I
like
honestly
an OG
didn't even realize
Kindle. Yeah.
I had an OG Kindle, which was a hand-me-down because my brother loved them. He would rip through them, like get the new one every year. So I got his old one, and that was when I didn't read shit. Like I probably didn't read anything, but I did see, and I never see Kindles in the wild ever. Beside last year when I was flying to Montana for a ski trip, there was this guy next to me reading a Kindle on the plane, and he like such a badass on a window seat sitting there in a Patagonia puffer reading a Kindle. And so that's when I started thinking about it. And then when I go to Albania, I don't want to fly with 9 books about the original Mr. Beast. So I figured I'll just waste money and get them on a Kindle so I can not read them on there.
Got it. That makes sense. I think like Amazon has enough money. They should put like a really cool looking dude in every first class flight reading a Kindle so that everybody like has to like filter and he's just like, I don't know. He looks like some like George Clooney type dude, just like a suave older gentleman with like a cool jacket. And like maybe he even has like some sunglasses on. He's just reading through the sunglasses. He's like sipping on some champagne in first class,
Imagine how cool it would be if you saw someone waiting in like a fast food line, and 90% of the people, if you're waiting in a fast food line, you go on your phone while you wait and you look up, look back down if you're by yourself. But imagine sitting in a fast food line and you whip out the Kindle and you just start reading a novel, and you're just sitting there reading the novel until you get up. Yeah, I'll do a quarter pounder with cheese, medium with a chocolate milk instead of the soda, please. Like 100%. That's what I'm going for. It's 90% for aesthetic purpose. I'm not going to buy a single book on the Kindle. I'm just going to pull up the blank screen and look at it.
That's 100% what you need to do. Yeah, I had a Kindle. I mean, I think the Kindle, and also I felt the same way about iPad. Like I got an iPad at some point because everybody was getting them, and then it's like, what do I do with this? Like, I already have a laptop. And right. It's kind of helpful for travel. I mean, now it's like really helpful with kids because they like play games on there and stuff. But yeah, it's I think the Kindle, well, luckily you have like a month to return it, right? So you can arrive at your house, and then you're going to go, I'm getting my $160 back and send it right back. It's good. All right. Should we, we're about at time. Anything else we want to talk about?
I don't have anything urgent. I feel so embarrassed about this whole fight situation that I'm going to buy Starlink immediately and tweet it out and make a public apology. I'm going to go sit in a coffee shop for 8 hours and spend $1 and just think about my life and how I can play Minecraft with a companion, with an AI companion. So
it's good. All right. Well, shout out again to all of the sponsors, numeral.com, higheroverseas.com, usenapa.com. littlecaesars.com, Xfinity.com, Kalshi.com, X.com, SpaceX.com, MySpace.com. We appreciate all of you. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Lex.com,
Yep.
Brex.com, CapitalOne.com,
Visa.com,
Ramp.com.
IMX.com. Sponsored by everybody except Al Qaeda, really. That's what they say about Raised and Confused.
Until next time, we're going to
Anti-Al-Qaeda.
start leaving you. We're going to start leaving you with a good tip. Okay. This tip, we talked about it last time. Make sure you're spending under 30% of your credit limit unless you have Amex. And also something at a coffee shop. I don't know. Do you have any people in coffee shops?
I think the tip of the day, sponsored by Numeral.com, is actually that you should never visit the state's most popular attraction, because these attractions
That's fire.
are
That's a good one. And that's
horrific.
so true.
Like, if you're coming to California just to visit Disneyland, if you're going to Washington just to go to the Pike Place Market, this isn't even fitting on the screen. If you're I think that there's a few examples. Like, I think, if
I tell people,
if you're trying to go, like, I think a lot of these that are like the less than 1 million and the 1 million to 4, they're all parks. Interestingly, it's like the Grand Canyon or the Rocky Mountain National Park, beautiful. Yellowstone, beautiful. Devil's Lake State Park, beautiful. But if you're going to Minnesota to hit the Mall of America, find God. Also crazy that if you look at this map, how do I get rid of this? Get rid of this. There we go. All right. If you look at this map, the numeral.com tip of the day is that you should never go to any of these that have over 10 million visitors. Blue Ridge Parkway, not worth it. Broadway at the Beach, not worth it. Disney World, not worth it. Disneyland, not worth it. Vegas Strip, not worth it. Pike Place Market, not worth it. Mall of America, not worth it. Times Square is certainly not worth it. And what's crazy about this is the Mall of America has more visitors than Times Square. Isn't that insane?
That's ridiculous. Dude,
the Mall of America has more visitors than Disneyland and Disney World combined.
I've never once wanted to go there, and I don't see anything. All I see is the roller coaster inside it. I guarantee you that 90% of the people that visit there are technically overweight. If they go to the doctor, they're technically overweight. That's my guess.
I mean, it is the problem with the Mall of America is there's actually not that many retail stores in the world that you can put into a random mall in Minnesota. So this is true. If you go to the Mall of America map, again, this entire tip sponsored by numeral.com. They just have the same stores like 3 times over in the mall. This is true. One day, out of sheer boredom, we did not go to Minnesota to go to the Mall of America. We were in Minnesota for other reasons, and we were at the Mall of America. One day, my wife and I walked, like, I don't know, there's like 6 floors. We walked the entire like circle of one of the floors. Dude, we passed a lid store like 7 times.
Really?
It's like, oh, there's like another J. Crew. Oh, there's another Apple store. They just put a bunch of the same stores, so it like fills up the whole mall. But it's like, dude, you're just a really big mall that instead of having 1 lid store, you have 7. Instead of 1 pretzel store, you have 15 pretzel stores, but they're all the fucking same pretzel.
That's genius.
Boo, Mall of America. Shout out Yellowstone National Park. All right.
Numeral.com today. Don't go to Mall of America.
Okay. Instead of going to Mall of America, go to numeral.com, hireoverseas.com, use napa.com. Until next time,